All right. So, scripture we was looking for, this is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 10. It says, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. The people, this is about Israel. They want to hear smooth things. They want you to tell them how good God is. They want you to tell them about the blessings that and the good things that the scriptures have to tell his people. And let me just tell you something right now. It's by the grace and mercy of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that we're able to even have good things that happen to us. Blessings, certain things that are deterred because of the mercy of the powerful Most High. All right. So it was something that was before. Okay, before people were saying, "Hey, listen, go ahead and you know, cut all that prophesying out. All right, don't speak to us about the things that are to come because I'd rather not know." And that's a problem with our people, the 2/3, as well as the other people that want to lump themselves up in holding on to the Bible. The funny thing is that they got it wrong. You're the scriptures that you're holding on to so much that you're not doing real research. As far as even the research, you got to give Esau some credit. A lot of people, they go real far in the research in the scriptures and finding the background, a lot of history, but it's just that veil, is right there, literally stopping them from being able to understand the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, of all that knowledge and all those things that they go forward by saying. So, hey, let's go to another scripture. I got another scripture for you. Let's see, is it Ecclesi? Nope, that's right here. All right, so some people want to say, so, hey, listen, I follow the Lord. Um, so you can follow certain things. If you're an Israelite, what does it say? We do not follow all Levitical laws. Some of the laws were intended for only Israel, while others were for everyone. And their list right here is just as fugazi as hell. Different scriptures and definitely morphing them into, because they don't understand. This really slick. This is by the author Matt Slick, who actually who did this article, a nomen omen. All right, as the scripture says, it's just amazing how Yahweh Shem Yahshua works. All right, so going into it, we see the scripture I was going to bring out. Two of them. This is wonderful how the word works. All right, for people say, well, that's Old Testament. Psalms 40:7 says, "Then I said, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me." Hebrews 10 says, "Then I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me." All right. So, and right here, just think it's a typo. It says occurs 10 times in 2 verses. Come in the volume of the book, old and new. So that's a cut to all you Old Testament people that say that the Most High wasn't prophesied. The Son, all right, Yahushua was not prophesied in the Old Testament. You're gone mad, all right? You don't get the scriptures. It ain't your fault. It's not anything that you had anything to do with. It's just the Most High set it up this way where, some people had to get that judgment. And the judgment is that you would not understand the truth of the scriptures. All right. So here it says in the Old and the New Testament that the Most High says, "Lo, I come in the volume of the book," meaning that what it says in the past shall be available in the present. It pertains. It's one and the same. All right. So we're going to go a little further into it, explaining exactly what does that mean then. People say we don't have to do certain things. So we understand that Esau and the world, man, they've got so slack, all right, because back in the day, I'm old school, OG, right? back in the day, you couldn't come into the church with no anti-man, no, gayness, right? They start they start praying it out of you, right? They start praying it out of you, right? Saying, come out of him, and but the truth is, there was always a past. Something about that. There's always a past that people always talk about. They always be like, "Oh, someone so came out of homosexuality," and and you could tell that spirit never fully was off of those people. Man, this is I'm a youth, right? I'm a young man looking at all these people said that they love the Lord, right? That come to church, seem like faithfully they show up to church and service, all right? So it really don't matter what they have to say on using scripture to say, hey, listen, it's cool over here and it's cool over here, and no, listen, it's not broken down. You can't have some laws that you pick and choose. Now listen, for us, now for the brethren, right? You do pick and choose, all right? You do, and that's spiritually. So if brothers have a hard time understanding that, hey, just eat the meat, spit out the bones. I'm not saying that you just get to say, hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead and do this and do that because I feel like it. Remember, Yahweh Shem Yahshua knows your heart, knows everything within inside you, what you think of before you thought it. Before you actually go do it, he knew what you were going to say. So you got to be honest, all right? Honest with yourself and understand, hey, you know. But, you know, we could go on, and a lot of different brothers have gone and touched this topic, but it's a real good one here. And this is really the cut of it, all right? The laws were not done away with. You do not get to do what you feel like doing. We take our leadership from the head of Israel, all right? The heads, the apostles and elders, the heads, the men that because they don't have Apostle Paul and Timothy, unless them brothers are back now, right? Which, I firmly believe that apostle elders, demonstrated, they could be Paul, could be Peter, who knows? All right. But what I do know is that we look for it, we look for the signs, certain things match up. And for what we also do know is that through the Spirit, which is alive and well, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, is the nationality, okay, the law, statutes, and commandments, the destruction that's coming in hand, and finally the mark of the beast, which is the microchip, all right, that's going to be implanted. We do realize that that the Spirit is alive and well. So it is, since the word is living, breathing, moving, okay, and it's always giving us insight into things we see now. All right, that's how we're able to line them up with precepts and scriptures. Okay, then we realize that you know that the Most High is dealing with the elders and dealing with us when it comes to when we look at scriptures now. When we look at anything for that matter. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 9 verse 12. It says, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once into the holy place, and having obtained eternal redemption for us. All right? I don't know why the us looks like it's in italicized. I wonder if it says who the for us is. Just curious. Who is the for us? We know who the for us is, right? But whenever it goes into for us, let's see. Inheritance our fathers for us. Anyway, so, well, hey, look right here for us. And for us shows Exodus 14:12. For it had better for us to serve the Egyptians that we should die in the wilderness. And this is the murmuring that the Israelites were doing when they were in the wilderness, okay? So straight up and down, man, it definitely explains, all right, who us is, who Israel is, all right, and who the sacrifice was for us, Man, there's no more perfect way to explain it. Here's some more here. This is and this whole Hebrews 9 is beautiful, wonderful, um, explanation to go into a scripture. Um, but I'll go right to 22. All right. It says, and almost Hebrews 9 and 22. It says, and almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood there is no remission. So it says right here in verse 23, it was therefore necessary that the patterns of things in the heavens should be purified with these, but the heavenly things themselves with better sacrifices than these. So basically it's also saying that we're the pattern, all right, had to be, if there's remissions of sin with blood in the Old Testament, all right, and we definitely know that the Most High comes in the volume of the book, all right, and that which has been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High required which is past in Exodus, Salakia, Ecclesiastics, chapter 3. Then we know that when later on, thousands of years later, okay, or 1,000 plus, when Yahushai was here on the earth, he was actually had to give remission for sins, and in the pattern of how Israel does holy, godly things. All right, it says 23. It was therefore necessary that the patterns of these things that in the heavens should be purified with these. All right, and let's see if there's any more. Yeah, there's a lot on that bone to get off, man, and even before, let's see, it says I kind of got right to the point, but when it says here, verse 18, whereupon neither the First Testament was dedicated without blood. So listen, they were talking about Old Testament, New Testament. Testament just comes from covenant, all right, laws, statutes, and commandments, all right. And this is for Israel. There's no reason why you follow some people that say, listen, there's some things that we could do and we don't do. We are in captivity right now. We are waking up according to Ezekiel 37, I believe, the bones. We're waking up to understanding who we are. But we're past that now. We're understanding that we're in the latter days and we're seeking Yahweh Shem Yahushua to come and come scoop us up, man. Come get us. Check. So, hey, man, I just hope this has been edifying. And there's a lot of other brothers that go into real detail about Levitical laws and certain things. But that's the only thing that's changed is the law of sacrifice. The end of the law of sacrifice. Animal sacrifice. We still sacrifice our time. Brothers that are busy with family, catching hell nonstop. I'm talking about it never ends. Almost you never have time for yourself, and if you do, you just sit there and like, man, that's why we encourage each other. That's why we listen to the apostles and elders that say, listen, this will bug you out. First of all, the truth will bug you out. All right, and in the aspect of that, people don't know it, don't share your view, that'll bug you out. And also what you get in repercussion, but I could just call it all blessing. All right. I heard the elder from Arkansas. He said something about his toe getting stubbed. I've stubbed my toe too. He said that, hey man, hey, that could be from the time that you got judged from something you didn't, was supposed to do and didn't do. But hey, this has been edifying. All right. Peace unto you. Shalom.